Hey everyone, welcome to In My Opinion, and today I'm going to talk about capitalism and its enemies. So, everyone understands capitalism as a form of economics which revolves around money making. And they're not very off. Yes, it is about money making. Capitalism is about money making. But capitalism is not just about money making. It is not just about profits. It is about competence, which brings profits. Now, it could be competence at one point in time, and in the future, it might become nepotism. It might become inheritance. It might become legacy wealth. It could become anything, but it could become lobbying. It could take a lot of forms, but it starts definitely with competence, and whoever starts it is competent, which is why they're able to generate that initial wealth, which is then making them capable of doing all those other things which everyone despises. But whenever such people who despise capitalism are asked questions if they will donate their entire wealth, or if they will not do the same had they got so much wealth, they have no answer to say, because then in that case they are the capitalist and they want to pass down whatever wealth they have to their offsprings, to their descendants, and that's exactly how we expose the hypocrisy of these people. But what is the problem with money making? What is the problem with capitalism? You know, every revolution of the Marxist kind, which are bullshit revolution by the way, but all such revolutions of the Marxist kind have always been about distribution of wealth. They're always about land distribution. They're always about communes. They're always about shared wealth. They're always about somehow making everyone equal or close to equal. But there's a basic problem with that idea, because they want the wealth to be distributed equally. Then it is like saying that whatever you do, whatever you write in your exams, the average of everyone's marks will be everyone's marks. Is that how the world works? Is that how we determine who is capable of doing something and who isn't? No. But the Marxists want to do it this way. Marxists love to equalize everyone. They love equity. I absolutely hate the concept of equity, because equity is the reason why reservations, why people who don't really deserve something get things. And equity at the initial stage might sound, and I might sound weird. It might sound like I'm out of my mind. But the truth is that equity is not scientific. If someone is naturally incompetent in doing something, then by giving them competence, by giving them artificially created competence, will not change the fact that they were created that way by nature. And one should respect and yes, it doesn't mean that that person is not good at something else. Why should that person not be that thing which they are good at and try to become something they are not? And for becoming that, take away the advantage of their incompetence to get extra points, and to and this world providing them all the assistance in achieving something, and in the process taking away someone's right who is better at doing something. This is like just because someone is colored, they have to be, for diversity's sake, you have to include them. Or if someone is someone from a lower caste, you have to include them in the process. It's completely nonsensical. It doesn't make sense. Equity is a bullshit concept. But it does make sense when you present it in the Marxist verbiage. When the Marxists talk about it, they will describe equity as the ultimate way to achieve their utopia, which is utopia, so it will never be achieved. And that's how they fool everyone to believe in these ideas. I would like to ask Marxists a very simple question. What will you distribute if there will be no wealth? If there will be no wealth, there is a story that someone mentioned once, and I kind of understood, and that was the point when I realized equity is nonsense. So in Soviet Russia, it used to be so that agricultural produce was agricultural produce did not matter, and everyone would receive the same amount of money and the same amount of food resources. So people who cultivated fruits in a normal scenario, if they were private fruit sellers or fruit producers, and if they were profit driven, they would make sure that they were segregating the rotten fruits from fine fruits, because rotten fruits have the ability to rot other fruits around them, and that way the productivity is sustained, and the fruits are not all the fruits are not lost, and only the rotten fruits, which might be half rotten or fully rotten, can be used for something else, can be used for feeding animals maybe, or can be used for consuming, can be used for making fruits with the part which is better. So that is something which is done when it is profit driven. Why? Because a person knows that the competence, that the quality of the fruit is going to fetch him or her money. What happens when you have something like Soviet Russia? Everyone knows they're going to get the same amount of money anyway. So no one puts so much effort in segregating fruits into good and bad, and all the fruits got spoiled because of this lack of concern, because of this carelessness. And that's exactly what happens in Marxism. So the question, how will you distribute wealth when there will be no wealth, makes sense. Because how will you, if wealth was to be symbolized by these fruits, then how will you distribute the fruits if there are no fruits to be eaten, if all of them are already rotten because no one put an effort, because they knew they were going to get the same thing anyway? And if it was a private system, someone's competence would have got them better fruits than someone else's. Yes, that would be against equality, but that person put in that extra effort as well. Why should that person, how can you treat a person who is not equal as equal? There is always equality between equals. There is no equality between unequals, and that's the case as the world is. You cannot make everyone equal in worth. You can only talk about these high principles, and because that's what fetches you views and money, and these NGOs and organizations can talk all what they want to talk about. But the truth is that this world is going to be driven. The system of capitalism is not flawless. Nothing can be beyond mistakes, but it is better than communism on any day. It is better than Marxism on any day. And the best thing about capitalism is that it does not openly declare violence as its means of achieving its goals. At least it is more modest, and it is more calm and more free, and it allows you to explore your capabilities, and depending upon those, you can then become what you want, do what you can do better than everyone else, and earn in that way, rather than get the same amount as everyone else and doing nothing. And that is what is running this world. This Marxism is fundamentally flawed. This world has always worked on the principle of survival of the fittest, as Herbert Spencer said, and that's exactly what the world will keep working on. And these Marxists will destroy this world if they get it their way, which is why everyone has to stand up to them and tell them that their idiotism is not making sense at all, and they might want to take their idiotism to their bloody graves and get done with it. So this is all for today, and thank you for staying with me, and I will see you tomorrow.